લાસ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફ હતો ને.
એક મિનિટ હો. Fatal attraction, right? Heart.
લાસ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફ.
Humans also threaten carnivorous plants in other ways. So threaten એટલે એનાથી બચવાનું એમ carnivorous plant થી.
થ્રેટન.
Threaten એટલે કોઈ threat હોય security. તો એ શું કહેવાય threat એમ.
તો થ્રેટ એટલે something which you are afraid of.
બીક હોય એમ.
So if you are threatening somebody, what does that mean?
ડરીએ એમ. We are afraiding something.
Afraiding, there's no word like afraiding, but
Afraid something. We are afraid something.
this is the problem. We are afraid of something. એટલે હું અમુક વસ્તુથી બીવું છું. But if I am afraid of something, then there must be something which is making me afraid. હું બીતો હું તો મને કોઈક બીવરાવવું જોઈએ ને. હું કઈ એમને એમ થોડો ગાંડો થોડો જો બીવા માંડું. તો
ડરાવવું.
હા, તો થ્રેટનિંગ એટલે ડરાવવું થાય.
Okay.
Not in this context. That's just the general sense of that word. Now, humans also threaten carnivorous plants in other ways. So, humans. So, humans are the people. Humans are the chief creator of pollution. Humans pollute the environment. So, if humans are polluting the environment, you can say that humans are threatening the environment. They are harming the environment in some way. So, અહીંયા એવું કીધું છે, humans also threaten carnivorous plants in other ways. So there are some ways in which humans are threatening the carnivorous plants. Threatening the carnivorous plants એટલે શું થાય બીજું કે yeah, they are destroying the carnivorous plants. So
નાશ કરે છે in other ways.
નાશ કરે છે, or maybe they are just harming the plants.
Harming.
May not mean destroy. It could also mean just harming the plants in some ways. And there's one more meaning of threaten. ધમકાવવું. You can threaten somebody. So if you're threatening somebody, એટલે તું એને ધમકાવસ.
ઇન્ટિમિડિયેટ કરીને આવે છે.
ઇન્ટિમિડિયેટ નહીં, ઇન્ટિમિડેટ.
ઇન્ટિમિડેટ એવું કંઈક હતું. એક્ઝેક્ટ વર્ડ યાદ નથી.
That is similar to threatening. Intimidate. હવે intimidate is threatening, but intimate એટલે
ઇન્ટિમેટ નથી ખબર.
intimate આવ્યું હતું. Intimate relationship.
ઓકે, એક મિનિટ ઉપર આમાં લખ્યું છે. ચેટ હતું કોમ્પ્લેક્સ વાળું. હા, આ જ પેરેગ્રાફમાં હતું તે.
ના એ મને યાદ નથી, પણ બીજે ક્યાંક હતું. ઇન્ટિમેટ રિલેશનશિપ એટલે વેરી ક્લોઝ રિલેશનશિપ.
હા, એક આવ્યું હતું ઇન્સ્ટ્રુમેન્ટલ છે.
ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ, જો એક ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ છે. ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ એટલે ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ કોબવેબ્સ, ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ વેબ
હા,
ઓફ ચેન્સ
મળી
હતું.
ગયું, મળી ગયું. આ તો ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ એટલે કોમ્પ્લિકેટેડ.
ઇન્ટ્રિકેટ એટલે કોમ્પ્લિકેટેડ. ઇન્ટિમેટ એટલે ઇન્ટિમેટ રિલેશનશિપ, વેરી ક્લોઝ રિલેશનશિપ.
હમ.
અને ઇન્ટિમિડેટ એટલે ટુ થ્રેટન.
લખી નાખું, સમાન નથી. એક થ્રેટન વાળો આવી ગયું, એનો એક સમાન હતી ઇન્ટિમેટ ને
હમ
એમએટી છેલ્લે. આઈ એમએટી મેટ.
INTI.
ઓકે, આઈએનટીઆઈ ઇન્ટિમેટ. ઓકે. ડરાવો ને ઓલું કોમ્પ્લિકેટેડ. Intricate. Human also threaten. Okay, the black market trade in exotic carnivorous plant is so vigorous now
Vigorous,
that
vigorous.
vigorous now that botanists are keeping the location of some rare species a secret.
Botanist.
Botanists are keeping the location of some rare species a secret.
બ્લેક માર્કેટ એટલે બ્લેક માર્કેટ, કાળી બજાર,
Yeah.
ઇલીગલ માર્કેટ.
Hmm.
ટ્રેડ ઇન એક્ઝોટિક કાર્નિવરસ પ્લાન્ટ્સ. એક્ઝોટિક.
શાયદ આવી ગયેલું છે
ના, એક્ઝોટિક નથી આવ્યું.
કદાચ.
ઓકે, જોઈ લો.
આમાં એટલા બધા થઈ ગયા છે ને, મને ખાલી વર્ડ એટલા હું કરી નાખું ને.
એક્ઝોટિક નથી આવ્યું. એટલે એક્ઝોટિકમાં કેવું થાય, there could be two types of plants. One,
એક્સ્ટ્રીમલી ને એક એક્ઝોટિક એમ.
ના.
એક કોમ્પ્લેક્સ અને એક સિમ્પલ.
But I can't use that word.
ઓકે.
Exotic એટલે okay, suppose apples. So mangoes grow in Gujarat, right? But apples don't.
ઇન કાશ્મીર.
Yes, apples grow in Kashmir. So you could say that apples are exotic plants.
ઓકે, ફોર ગુજરાત.
Yes, in the context of Gujarat, apples are exotic.
ઓકે,
So
રેર પીસ છે.
similarly, for Kashmir, for people live in Kashmir, mangoes are exotic.
યસ.
Or this is not a very good example because you are talking about the same country. A better example would be to say another country, US or Canada, where apples, the mangoes don't grow. The mangoes are usually imported from India. So
યસ.
mangoes are an exotic fruit
ફોર
for
ફોર
Canadians.
યા.
So now, what does this exotic mean?
Exotic means it is more demanding or lack of lack તો ના કહેવાય ને, lack of something more demanding અથવા એનું મહત્વ બહુ વધારે હોય એમ.
હવે આમાં મહત્વની, where did I talk about importance? First, I give
મહત્વ
you the example of Gujarat and Jammu and Kashmir. Now, that is not a very accurate definition of exotic. So we went on to say that mangoes don't grow in Canada. That's why people are importing mangoes to Canada. So for Canadians, mangoes are exotic fruits. So now,
એમાં
where did I talk
મુશ્કેલ છે.
about importance?
એમને મળવું મુશ્કેલ છે તો એનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ.
Did I say that it is difficult to get? I am
નો.
just stating a simple fact. It is not growing in Canada. I'm not saying that it's very difficult. I'm importing mangoes from India. Now, did I say it's difficult to get the mangoes from India? Of course, if you are importing, then it'll be costlier. That
તો
is true.
એક્ઝોટિક
In a way,
કાર્નિવરસ
in a way, if you're saying that it is difficult to get
બહુ ઓછો growth
sleep,
થતો હોય એવું કઈ
huh?
એક્ઝોટિક કાર્નિવરસ પ્લાન્ટ એટલે એ જગ્યા ઉપર ઓછો ગ્રો થતો હોય. ઇટ મીન્સ
But just forget about carnivorous plants. Just try to analyze this example. I'm talking about a fruit which is not growing in the place where I am living. It is growing somewhere else. So now where am I talking about quantity? Where am I talking about importance? Where am I talking about cost? What am I referring to? I am I'm I'm in Canada. Mangoes are not growing here. So where are they growing? They're growing in some
mangoes are
other
exotic
place,
for you.
other country.
So mangoes are exotic for you, for your country, right?
Yes, they're exotic fruits. So what does exotic mean?
Mm, foreigner,
Exactly.
કારણ કે તારામાં મેંગો નથી આવતું બરાબર છે તો એક જ વસ્તુ બાકી રહી બાકી તો કાંઈ એમાંથી ન મળે
પણ એ તો
એક્ઝામ્પલ.
વાત છે. હવે અહીં નથી ઉગતી, ઈ બીજે ઉગે છે. તો એનો મતલબ શું થયો? ફોરેન લેન્ડની વસ્તુ છે. એમાં મેં કે એમાં ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સની વાત ક્યાં આવી કે એમાં ક્વોન્ટિટીની વાત ક્યાં આવી? ઓછી થાય, જાજી થાય, પણ થાતી જ નથી, ઠામુકી નથી થતી.
પછી બધું વિચારીને પછી છેલ્લે એક લીધું હતું કે વિદેશી એમ.
હા. So exotic carnivorous plants એટલે the carnivorous plants which are not growing in your region. They are growing in some foreign land. That is why I said that Jammu and Kashmir is not a proper example because it is in the same country. We need to talk about a fruit or a plant that is growing in some other country.
Okay, foreigner exotic plants. Yeah, it's so vigorous now that
Vigorous.
botanists are keeping the location of some rare species a secret.
Okay, botanist. So what do you
This
understand from the
like
suffix ist?
is scientist.
Yes.
So
So they are some
some
kind of scientists.
people,
And
yes.
what are we talking about here in this entire
Uh,
passage?
carnivorous plant. So it is a so sorry. He is a scientist of વનસ્પતિ નથી કહેવાય
Vegetation.
નહીં પણ plants
Ah,
or trees. He is a scientist of plants or trees. Trees.
so generically speaking, vegetation. So he's a scientist of plants,
Veggie.
trees, vegetation. He's a botanist.
That botanist keeping
Vigorous.
vigorous.
Vigor. Full of vigor.
Full of vigor.
I'm full of vigor in the morning.
Fresh.
Hmm?
Fresh.
When I wake up early in the morning, I'm full of vigor. But on the contrary, if on the contrary, when I retire to sleep, I'm extremely tired, fatigued, exhausted.
Vigorous. ફ્રેશ ફ્રેશફુલ કોન્સન્ટ્રેટ આપીએ કાંઈ એવું હેલ્ધી કા ફૂલ એનર્જી
Yes.
એનર્જીફુલ
Energetic, vigorous.
એનર્જેટિક
So
vigorous
what happens when you wake up? You're energetic because you have
energetic
had a whole night's sleep. So you're energetic. And when you are going to bed, you're tired. You worked very hard the whole day. So you're tired.
energetic okay. Carnivorous plant is so energetic now that botanists are keeping the location of some rare species a secret.
It's a problem. Carnivorous plants are not energetic. They are not dancing. The black market trade in exotic carnivorous plant is so vigorous.
મેં ઓલું અધૂરું વાંચ્યું ને
એટલે
એટલે
હવે
ઓકે.
it completely changes the meaning.
ધ બ્લેક માર્કેટ ટ્રેડ ઇન આ વચ્ચે એને ઇન કદાચ લાસ્ટમાં નાખી દીધું ને તો હાલત ઓકે અહીંથી object is only just the black market trade.
Hmm.
Black market trade.
It's not an object, it's a subject because we are talking about black
Sorry,
market trade.
sorry, subject.
Hmm.
Sorry. The black market trade is so vigorous now that botanists are keeping the location of some rare species a secret.
So why do they need to keep some rare species? So rare species are species that are very difficult to come by.
To come back, huh?
So they
And
are
go to.
less in number.
Hmm.
So if some species are less in number, why do you need to keep them secret?
Otherwise, પછી ઓલા શું કહેવાય ના થઈ જાય તો પછી ગોતવા મુશ્કેલ પડે મે બી સ્ટડી ન કરી શકે સાયન્ટિસ્ટ.
નાશ થઈ જશે. Who is going to destroy or harm the plants?
હ્યુમન્સ.
Yes, humans. And what are they going to do? They're going to trade these exotic species on the internet. So black
ઇન્ટરનેશનલ
market.
માર્કેટ, બ્લેક માર્કેટ
ડાર્ક વેબ ઉપર આને ચડાવી દે.
ચડાઈ દેવાય હાલે તો. કારણ કે રેર છે ડાર્ક ઉપર રેર વસ્તુ જ થતી હોય ઇલીગલ. સાંભળ્યું છે ડાર્ક વેબ, જોયું નથી કેવું હોય છે. કાળો હોય છે, કાળો કાળો. ઓકે, બટ ઇવન ઇફ ધ પોચિંગ ઓફ કાર્નિવરસ, પોચિંગ એટલે શિકાર કરવું થાય ને, હન્ટિંગ.
Poaching, hunting.
But even if the poaching of carnivorous plants can be halted.
Halted.
Halted એટલે halt એટલે અટકાવવી.
Paused.
Okay, plants can be paused.
નહીં,
They will.
plants નથી pause થતા. જો again the same mistake. What is being paused? Poaching of carnivorous plants. ઓલામાં exotic carnivorous plants with vigor is so vigorous. એવું નથી. Black market trade is vigorous.
Okay, sorry. But even તો પણ તેમ છતાં, પરંતુ તેમ છતાં if the poaching of carnivorous plant can be halted, they will continue to suffer from other assaults.
Assault.
Other assault can be halted. પોઝ એનું જે શિકાર કરવામાં આવે એને સપોઝ અટકાવવામાં આવે, પોઝ કરવામાં આવે. They will continue to suffer from other assault.
So what do you think? Is this word assault, is it positive or negative?
નેગેટિવ, કારણ કે જો અટકાવવામાં તો આવું થાય છે, સફર ફ્રોમ અધર એસર, તો એ કંઈક નેગેટિવ હોવું જોઈએ, અધર વેઝ હોવો જોઈએ.
But there's a strong hint why this word is negative, because you're saying suffer. So if you are suffering from something, you usually suffer from what? Illness. So if you're
illness,
suffering from something, then this word should be something negative.
yes, definitely it's a negative.
So
I think it's assault means way, negative way or બીજો રસ્તો.
negative way ને બીજો રસ્તો, it does not match. બીજો રસ્તો is just another way. તો negative way એટલે તો શું થયું? નકારાત્મક રસ્તો.
નકારાત્મક પદ્ધતિ, સ્ટ્રેટેજી. સફર ફ્રોમ અધર ઇલનેસ અથવા અધર ગેરફાયદાઓ હવે એવું તો ન કહી શકાય.
Other disadvantages, other illnesses, yes.
મતલબમાં
Poaching. Okay.
હન્ટિંગ.
Poaching એટલે hunting. So hunting is the very extreme. Hunting is on one extreme. But what the author is saying that even if poaching or hunting of carnivorous plants can be halted, so you're not killing the plants, right? You're not killing the plants and selling them in exotic carnivorous plants. But then if you're not doing something and you are compromising, what does that mean? Although you're not doing it completely, you are still doing it partially, right?
તો પોચિંગ થતું હોવું જોઈએ હન્ટિંગ જ.
Nee, hunting, hunting and poaching of carnivorous plants can be halted. It can be paused.
હમ.
That is one extreme. We are not going to the very extreme. We are not hunting and poaching the plants, but still, that process in some other way is still continuing.
હા એટલે કોઈ બીજા એવું કોઈ મતલબમાં શું કહેવાય
But
અ,
so this word, this assault is somehow related to hunting and poaching, but
યસ
not to that extent.
હા એક્ઝેક્ટલી નહીં એની જેવું કઈ.
Yes, the degree is changing. The degree of the assault is lesser than the this degree of poaching and hunting.
The main verb. Okay.
So that is somehow, you could say, it's partially related to poaching and hunting.
Hmm. Okay.
What could it be?
It could be some ચોરી ચૂપીથી કઈ નહીં. It could be હા કોઈ ચોરીથી કાપી નાખતા હોય maybe
To
બ્લેક માર્કેટમાં વેચાતું હોય કદાચ એને હોલ્ડ કરે તો બી.
Okay, that is one possibility. Some people might be covertly cutting those plants.
Hmm.
Covertly,
It could be
covertly, એટલે ચોરી છુપીથી. They are covertly cutting the plants. So that is one possibility. But what is this cutting? Cutting. How can you generically describe cutting?
destroyed.
Hey, it's uh, you can hurt somebody. If you hurt somebody, what are the ways in which you can hurt somebody?
If એ ટ્રસ્ટ તોડે તો એવું થાય.
So that is you are hurting somebody emotionally. Then what else?
એનાથી દૂર થાય બીજું શું થાય.
Nay, if you break somebody's trust, you are hurting that person emotionally. If
Yeah.
you disagree with that person, or if you prove that person wrong, what are you doing? You're hurting that person mentally. And what else? How else can you hurt somebody? Mentally, emotionally.
ફિઝિકલી તો હોય નહીં કઈ મારે તો નહીં.
But so come no hoy. Why are you neglecting that possibility?
ફિઝિકલી
So I am just asking you, how many possibilities are there to hurt somebody? So if you can hurt somebody mentally, you can hurt somebody emotionally. How else can you hurt somebody?
ફિઝિકલી
So physically જ આવે ને. હવે શું બચ્યું બીજું?
બીજું તો કઈ વધુ નથી.
You cannot hurt somebody spiritually.
Okay.
So here also we are doing something similar. You are cutting that plant
Yes.
illegally. So
Hmm.
you are hurting it physically. And what
Yes.
the author is saying, that even if poaching, so even if one extreme is blocked,
Hmm.
that activity will continue in some or the other form, although uh, it would be that form would be less severe than the original one. So it might not be as dangerous as poaching, it might not be as severe as poaching, but still that activity is continuing in some muted form. So assault is what? Assault is physical violence, harming something physically.
Okay. Physical harm.
Mental harm hoy, emotional harm hoy, and physical harm. So physical harm is what? Assault.
Okay. Okay. In the pines sauna of sauna
Savannah.
Okay, in the pine savanna of North California, the increasing suppression of fires is allowing other plants to grow too quickly and outcompete the flytraps in their native environment. Their
No,
native environment.
out વાળો word આવ્યો પાછો. Out compete.
Hmm.
So compete
Outcompete.
is
Compete એટલે compete. Compete. Compete.
to be in competition with somebody. To compete with
Competition.
somebody.
સ્પર્ધા.
હે?
સ્પર્ધા એવું કંઈક આવે ને.
Spardha, to compete with somebody. So if you're competing with somebody and then now out compete. So what?
It's above a competition.
Outweigh. What was the meaning of outweigh?
આઉટ એટલે તમે બીજા રસ્તે
Go up,
કેવું
scroll up, ઉપર, ઉપર,
કરીને આમાં આઉટ 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 ક્યાં હતું
ઉપર. First paragraph. હા.
ફર્સ્ટ
ઈ
પેરેગ્રાફ નું
નહીં,
નથી.
ઈ પેજ ફેરવી નાખ્યું. આખા પેસેજ નો ફર્સ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફ નહીં, ઈ પેજ નો ફર્સ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફ.
અરે એમાં એવું નથી, આ જરાક તમે ઓલું કરો ને ઉપર અડી જાય ને એટલે આખું પેજ ફરી જાય.
પેજ નથી ફેરવવાનું, you just have to scroll right.
જો આવું કેમ થાય?
પણ
એક
જમણી
મિનિટ.
બાજુ સ્ક્રોલ કરને, ખાલી
હા આ રીતનું છે એટલે હા
તો તું આખા બીજા પેજ ઉપર વયો જઈશ.
એ આ રીતે આમ સ્ક્રોલ કરવું પડે નકર પેજ ચેન્જ થઈ જાય છે સ્ક્રોલ અપ થી. આ આઉટ વેઇટ એવું હતું અહીંયા આઉટ વેઇટ અમુક વજન કરતા વધારે વજન એમ આઉટ વેઇટ છે.
વજનની વાત થઈ છે. Are we
આઉટ
talking about mass and weight?
એટલે વજન આપણે કેમ વજન ઉચકીએ વેઇંગ 200 kg વર્બ ની વાત થઈ છે આઉટ વેઇટ.
In the context of this sentence, are we talking about physical weight?
નહીં. Sentence condition in which the benefit of being carnivorous do outweigh. એટલે એને એના આમાં એવું છે કે જેને બેનિફિટ છે બહુ વધારે છે જે એના ડિસએડવાન્ટેજ ને આઉટવે કરી નાખે છે એના પર હાવી થઈ જાય એનાથી વધારે છે એટલે પેલું નેગ્લિજેબલ થઈ જાય.
So the significance of this prefix out.
ઇટ્સ ઓવરકમ કરે એમ બીજા
Outweigh.
કમ્પેરિઝન.
So if something is outweighing something else, then it is weighing more than something else. If you're talking about physical weight, outpace. So if something is outpacing something else, then it is faster than something else.
યસ.
And then yesterday we had discussed so many other examples: outpace, outdo, outwit. So wit is what? Intelligence. So if you outwit somebody, what are you doing? You
યુ
are
આર મોર ઇન્ટેલિજન્ટ.
more intelligent than somebody else. Now go back to the last paragraph and read that word out. What was it? Out compete. So compete. So compete is you're
કોમ્પિટિશન
competing with somebody. Out compete.
ઇટ્સ એટલે કોમ્પિટિશન વગરનું થઈ ગયું એમ.
Competition વગરનું થઈ ગયું.
ના એટલે વધારે કોમ્પિટિશન છે એમ વધારે પડતી તો એ એક પ્રકારનું
એમ નહીં, વધારે એટલે વગરનું કઈ રીતે થઈ જાય?
બહુ કોમ્પિટિશન વધી જાય પછી
તો કોમ્પિટિશન પૂરી થઈ જાય.
હા કોમ્પિટિશન પૂરી તો ન થાય.
ઓલા બધામાં શું હતું? મોર એન્ડ લેસ. This prefix out
હા
is, you can say
એ
that
more
it is indicative
compared to
of
other.
a greater amount of quantity when you're comparing two things, and if one is out x b, a out x b hoy, so what does it mean? A is something more than b.
B.
Now x could be anything, it could be compete, it could be pace, it could be class,
હા
anything.
comparison છે out compete.
So if
From
outpace is one thing being faster than something else, because pace relates to speed. So one thing is faster than the other thing. So outcompete શું થાય? We are
out
talking
competed
about
by
competition.
other. Out competed by other. Something.
તો નહીં, root word શું છે? Compete. And then you are adding out in the prefix. So what does it mean? One thing is more competitive than the other thing.
Yes.
Outpaceમાં શું હતું? One thing had higher speed than the
Higher,
second thing.
faster than the second one.
So
તો અહીંયા બી
outcompete, you apply the same concept. We are talking about competition. So one thing is more competitive than the second thing.
yes. Okay.
So if something is more competitive, what does it mean? The chances of that thing winning is higher.
Hmm.
The chances are that the chances of that thing winning are higher.
કોમ્પિટિશન વધારે હોય તો વિનિંગ થવાના ચાન્સીસ હાયર હોય.
Competition વધારે નથી. You are still not understanding it correctly. I'm not
કોમ્પિટિટિવ
saying that competition is higher. What am I saying? One thing is more competitive than other. હવે what does that mean? More competitive એટલે?
વધારે કોમ્પિટિટિવ છે એમ.
So when can you be more competitive? Let us assume that there are two players.
હમ
Two one.
એનાથી મારી વધારે આવડત હોય સારી.
If one player is more talented than the other player, he is more competitive.
હમ
When can you compete? When you are skillful.
યસ.
If you don't know how to play volleyball, can you go in Olympics and compete with other people?
નો.
So if you are more competitive, it automatically implies that you are a skilled person. You are more skillful than the other person.
ગોટ ઇટ.
Okay, in the pine savanna, so we are talking about some sort of
નાઉન સવાના
forest
ઇઝ
thing, savanna. I don't remember what savanna means.
ઇન ધ પાઇન સેવન એટલે પ્લેસ હોવી જોઈએ.
ના, એટલે પ્લેસ તો ખરી, પણ
Pine savanna of North California.
હમ
In increasing suppression of fire is allowing other plants to grow to quickly and outcompete the flytrap in their native environment.
increasing suppression of fire.
Hmm.
Suppress. So you can suppress fire, you can suppress anger, you can
એટલે
suppress
દબાવ
your emotions.
એંગરને દબાવી રાખવું એવું થયું ને.
Yes.
Fire increasing suppression of fire is allowing other plant to grow too quickly.
So what happens when there's a fire in the forest? All the trees will be burnt, the plants, the
But
vegetation cover will be destroyed.
yes,
So if you suppress fire, then it means that the vegetation will have a chance to grow.
yes.
So each was the increasing suppression of fires is allowing other plants to grow too quickly.
ઝડપથી
Which
ગ્રો
other
થઈ.
plants are we talking about?
કાર્નિવરસ પ્લાન્ટ સિવાયના.
Yes, the plants other than carnivorous plants. So because the fires are being suppressed, what's happening? The other plants are growing very quickly and
And
outcompeting the fly traps in their native environment. So if there are a lot many other plants, see the resources that are available in this pine savanna are limited.
yes,
The soil and the nutrients present in the soil are limited. Now if it can support 10 plants and there are more than 10 plants, let's say there are 15 plants, then what will happen? All those 15 plants will compete for the same amount of nutrients that are present in the soil,
yes,
and as a result, the plant that
it,
is the strongest will derive the most amount of nutrients, whereas the
yeah,
plants that are weak or less in number will get less nutrients,
less
and
nutrients.
as a consequence, they'll remain weaker than the ones which are already very strong.
Yeah,
So, in a way, the plants are competing with one another. For what? For the resources, for the water that's present under the ground, for the nutrients, for the sunlight, everything, all the natural resources.
yeah,
So, the problem here is that due to the suppression of fire, there are a lot many plants other than these carnivorous species which are growing. Now, if you have too many plants growing there, then they are directly going to compete with the carnivorous plants. And
yes.
the number of carnivorous plants is less than the number of these other plants.
Other plants.
So that's why they are being decisively defeated.
હમ. એટલે કીધું ક્વિકલી અને આઉટ કમ્પીટ એટલે અધર પ્લાન આઉટ કમ્પીટ ધ ફ્લાઇટ રેપ એને
So other plants are more competitive than fly traps. Why? Because they're more in number. That is why.
યા ગોટ ઇટ ઇન ધેર નેટિવ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ હા બરાબર છે ઈ ત્યાં થતા
એના જ
હોય
ઘરમાં ઘૂસીને ઈ પગ પોળા કરે છે.
હમ એટલે આ અધર પ્લાન્ટ્સ ગુડ ન્યૂઝ perhaps perhaps
Perhaps.
perhaps ગુડ ન્યૂઝ સારા સમાચાર perhaps for files
For
for flies flies fly વાળું ઉડવા વાળું flies
mm, mosquitoes, flies.
હા એ ઉડે ઈ જ ને તો એની તો વાત કરું for fly ઉડે ઈ આ પ્લુરલ છે flies IES
Listen to me. Mosquitoes, flies. I'm not saying mosquitoes fly. મચ્છર ઉડે છે એવું નથી કેતો. Mosquitoes, flies. Pay attention to my intonation. I'm not saying
ઓકે
mosquitoes fly.
એના ઉપરથી એવું લાગે છે કે આ કોઈ એક ઇન્સેક્ટ હોવું જોઈએ
Ah, mosquitoes, flies. I'm not saying mosquito flies.
ઓકે 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 તો આ ઇન્સેક્ટ હશે પતંગિયા કે એવું કાંઈ કોઈ બી
પતંગિયાને શું કહેવાય?
બટરફ્લાય કહેવાય
This is only fly.
એટલે એને જેવું કંઈક હશે એમ આઈ એમ જસ્ટ સેઇંગ ધેટ ઇટ્સ સમથિંગ લાઈક ધેટ
માખી,
ઇન્સેક્ટ
માખી, મચ્છર, માખી,
માખી
મચ્છરની હારે શું હોય બીજું?
માખી હોય માખી માખી માખી
એ તો હું કહું છું, mosquito flies, mosquito flies.
તો મને એ નથી ખબર ફ્લાઇઝ એટલે પણ મેં ખાલી ઇન્ટેન્શન ઉપરથી એવું
Intonation, intention નહીં.
intonation okay according to your intonation it could be a insect
Or
like but
insect.
insect like but an
Or
insect
insect.
નહીં n નો આવે an insect
I don't know.
an insect યાર It could be an insect,
Ah,
but a loss for all who, like Darwin, delight in the sheer inventiveness of
sheer,
sheer inventiveness invent,
inventiveness.
inventiveness of evolution.
So we had started the passage with the name of this guy, Charles Darwin, and we are ending the passage with the same name.
The sheer,
So now we are talking about both good news as well as some bad news.
but a loss for all who, like Darwin, delight.
So why is it a good news for flies?
As an insect, suppose as a carnivorous plant હોય, કદાચ સપોઝ કે ન હોય તો એના માટે તો સારું ને એનો હન્ટિંગ પોચિંગ છે એના માટે પ્રે છે.
Yes,
That's why
the
it's known
carnivorous plants will eat
fly.
flies. So if the number of carnivorous plants are less, then flies can survive. Flies will
Hmm.
not die.
Yeah, but a loss for all who, like Darwin, delight in the sheer inventiveness of evolution. એટલે પછી જે ડાર્વિનની સાથે હતા જેને આમાં
ડાર્વિનની
રસ હતો.
સાથે હતા.
નહીં, ડાર્વિન જેવા, લાઈક ડાર્વિન.
For everyone who is like Darwin, it's a loss.
હમ.
And why is it a loss? Because these people uh,
Delight.
delight in something.
એક છે ને મારા અહીંયા એક મારો ફ્રેન્ડ મારી સાથે ભણતો એનું એક પીઝાનું હોટલ છે, મતલબ કાફે જેવું છે. એટલે એને એવું નામ રાખ્યું છે ડિલાઇટ, શિકાગો ડિલાઇટ્સ પીઝા.
Hmm.
તો એની ઉપરથી ડિલાઇટ્સ એટલે કોઈ સારો એક વર્ડ આવવો જોઈએ.
Delight, it could be something positive.
હા, પોઝિટિવ. ઇટ કુડ બી સમથિંગ પોઝિટિવ. સારું.
Delightful. Delightful.
હા, ડિલાઇટફુલ, મજા આવે એવું, ખુશીઓ પડે.
Delightful. Pizza, if you eat pizza, what kind of feelings? I mean, what do you feel?
I feel pleasure.
You feel
I
pleasure. You feel pleasure, right?
hmm,
So
ખુશી,
delight.
હર્ષ.
They take delight it. So they take pleasure in what? They take pleasure in the sheer inventiveness of evolution. Inventiveness.
ઇન્વેન્ટિવનેસ એટલે આ કઈ ગોતવામાં એને
Okay, what happens when something evolves?
ઇવોલ્વ થાય તો શું થાય એમ.
Hmm.
અ, કંઈક નવું નવું લાગે એમ.
એવું લાગે એટલે
તમે કઈક નવી વસ્તુની શોધ કરો, બરાબર છે, તો
આમાં
આમ
શોધ કરવાની ક્યાં વાત એવી? હું તને ઇવોલ્યુશન નું પૂછું છું તો હજી તું ઇન્વેન્શન માં પડ્યો.
કે શું થાય, સપોઝ આપણે કઈ સમથિંગ ઇવોલ્વ, તો વોટ હેપન, એવું તે મને પૂછ્યું ને.
હમ
ગ્રો થાય તો
શું ગ્રો થાય? તો ગ્રોથ ને વોટ્સ ધ ડિફરન્સ બિટવીન ગ્રોથ એન્ડ ઇવોલ્યુશન?
હમ, ઇવોલ્વ એટલે ગ્રોથ લીધું એવું કંઈક હતું. ઇવોલ્યુશન એક આવે, તે મને પૂછ્યું કે ઇવોલ્વ.
So evolution, what's the difference? It's just the It's just another form of the same word.
ઇવોલ્વ એટલે વિકાસ થવું જેવું છે, ડેવલપમેન્ટ કઈ.
Development, vikas thao, right? So for example, we talked about the neck of giraffe. So
હમ
over time giraffes developed a very very long neck. Why?
હમ
Because if they did not have
otherwise
very long neck, they would not be
cannot
able
survive.
to uh, pluck the leaves from the very tall trees. And if they cannot feed on the leaves of those tall trees, they'll die. So they'll have
Yes,
to adapt to their surroundings. So evolution, you can say, it's a way to adapt to your changing surrounding. You have to continuously evolve, otherwise you'll die.
yes. Okay.
So in evolution, you always you either lose something or you
Get something.
invent something new, something which was not there before.
Yes.
For example, the long neck of giraffe. So giraffes did not have very long neck, but due to the changing environment, as the height of the trees kept on increasing, the length of the neck had to increase in equal proportion. Otherwise, they would not be able to survive. So they're inventing something new. Then we also talked about the hump of camel. So
Halle.
camels developed a hump to store excess of water and
Extra
nutrients.
food, other foods.
So in at the times when they cannot find something to eat or when they cannot find something to drink, they can survive on the ration that's stored inside their hump.
Yes.
So they invented that hump. So whenever you're talking about evolution, more often than not, you will develop some new capabilities. You'll invent something. So now inventiveness of evolution. So now do you get the sense of this expression?
Yes. એટલે કે તમે કઈ નવું ઇન્વેન્ટિવ જે એની સાથે આખું સીર ઇન્વેન્ટિવનેસ ઓફ ઇવોલ્યુશન એટલે એનો મતલબ એવો થયો કે જે ડાર્વિન જેવા માણસો હતા.
નહીં, પેલા તો શિયર શિયર
અ,
શિયર એટલે શિયર એક્સટેન્ટ. યુ કેન સે શિયર એક્સટેન્ટ એટલે કેવું એક્સટેન્ટ?
શિયર એટલે કેવું હોય? આપણે ઓલા નથી ક્લીન નહીં પણ નીટ એન્ડ ક્લીન નહીં. કમ્પ્લીટ ઇન્વેન્ટિવનેસ ઓફ ઇવોલ્યુશન એવું કહેવાય.
હા, કમ્પ્લીટ. શિયર વેરી લાર્જ. શિયર એટલે સપોઝ ઇફ યુ સે શિયર એક્સટેન્ટ એટલે talking about an expansive, something very expansive to a great extent. Sheer inventiveness. Our inventiveness. So inventive, invent is a verb, but inventiveness is what? Suppose I say creativeness. So creativeness. So that's a quality. Any double S lage to it will be quality.
એટલે ઓલું નવું કઈ આપણે બનાવતા હોય સંશોધન તો એ
The quality of being inventive, the quality of yes, being inventive, the quality of being creative, that is inventiveness.
yes.
And evolution, so evolution is creative. Why do you say that evolution is creative? Because there's a problem, and
Yes.
evolution solves that problem in a creative way. You need creativity to solve a problem, right? You cannot solve a problem without being creative. So that is why the people like Charles Darwin, who take pleasure in the very inventiveness, in the very creativity of evolution, they're not very happy with this. Why? Because if the other plants grow too quickly, and if they outcompete the fly traps, so if they outnumber the fly traps, if they start competing for resources that fly traps need to grow and evolve, then what will happen? The evolution of fly traps will slow down. It will not stop, but it will slow down because they are less in number, they have less resources to grow and evolve.
Hmm.
That is why their evolution will be hampered. It will slow down. And so the people who are in favor of this creativeness of evolution, for them it's a bad news. But for the flies who are being killed by these fly traps, it's a very good news.
એટલે એ લોકોને
Me,
આ
hmm.
ના એટલે ડાર્વિન જેવા લોકોને થોડોક આમ નુકસાન હતું અને ફ્લાઈઝ ને
નુકસાન નથી. Again, see, it's not.
એ ખુશ નથી લાઈક ડાર્વિન એના માટે લોસ ઓફ ઓલ હું અહીંયા લખ્યું.
But you are directly translating this word. That is why it does not make any sense. નુકસાન એટલે શું? નુકસાન એટલે તે કંઈક મારું
આ
બગાડી
નુકસાન એટલે
નાખ્યું એને નુકસાન
it's
કહેવાય.
not affect
So what did these people lose? If one plant is not growing, મારા બાપનું શું જાય?
એની જે ખુશી હતી આ જે એની એની વાત છે એનું નુકસાન
So
છે.
you cannot say that એનું નુકસાન નથી. It's not a loss in some physical terms, right?
હમ
It's more of a loss in again, it's like so physical loss. There are three kinds of losses: physical losses, mental loss, and emotional loss. So we're talking about mental loss here.
yes.
એટલે નુકસાન, પણ નુકસાન કેવી રીતે?
મેન્ટલી એમ કઈ
માનસિક એમ કે they 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 had some kind of thought, and they had some kind of an ideology, that their belief, so that belief is being hurt, their ideology is being hurt. That is why they are saying that it's a loss for these people, for people like Darwin.
ઓકે એ લોસ ની વાત હતી. આમ તો જો કે બધા થઈ ગયા ને આ તો બાકી એ તો નહોતા આમાંથી.
હવે એ તો યાદ નથી, કારણ કે આ પેસેજ બહુ લાંબો આવેલો. એ ટુ આઈ એટલે શું, કેટલું હતું આમાં.
એટલે એમ નહીં, પણ આ બધા થઈ ગયા છે અને આન્સર તો આવી ગયા હતા, બાકી નહોતા એ કોઈ. એટલે જ જો ને
હા,
આપણે કીધું કે
એ
આ
મને
પેસેજ
યાદ
પછી
નથી.
ના, એટલે જ મેં તને કીધું તો આ પેસેજ પછી રાખ્યા, કારણ કે આમાં ક્વેશ્ચન આન્સર તો બધા થઈ ગયા છે. તો આ તો પૂરું થઈ ગયું, હવે શું છે? ઓહો, want to be friend friends, want to be friends. કેટલા ABCDEFG, ABCDEFG 4 ને 3 7 પેરેગ્રાફ છે, મોટા મોટા છે. વિઝિબલ છે.
27 to 40. Okay, these questions are based on this passage. Okay, મેં કીધું આ કંઈક અલગ લાગે છે.
અલગ એટલે કે જે નવા પેસેજ ના ક્વેશ્ચન છે
હા,
એ સામે આવે ને. ઓકે, could the benefit of online social networking be too good to miss out on?
okay. If I say that a news is too good to be true, what does it mean?
ટુ આવી ગયું એટલે નેગેટિવ થઈ ગયું, બરાબર છે.
હા, નેગેટિવ થઈ ગયું. too good to be true એટલે it is fake. So could the
Hmm.
benefits of online social networking be too good to miss out on? So now, are we referring to something negative here?
Uh, too good to miss out on. એવું આગળ બેનિફિટ આવ્યો ઓફ ઓનલાઈન સોશિયલ નેટવર્કિંગ ટુ
જો
ગુડ
too good to be true તો એમાં આપણે શું કર્યું? Too good ને we converted it into negative and we said that if something is too good to be true then it is not true. તો અહીંયા શું છે? Too good to miss out on. So
હિયર ઇઝ ઓલ્સો નેગેટિવ હોય નેગેટિવ
too good to miss out on.
અને મિસ આઉટ
એને
આવી ગયું એટલે પાછું ડબલ નેગેટિવ થઈ ગયું.
so this is a bit more confusing.
હમ તો આખું નેગેટિવ પેલા એક નેગેટિવ આવ્યું પાછું નેગેટિવ આવ્યું તો હવે ઈ પોઝિટિવ સમજવાનું
નહીં
બીજું તો
નહીં
શું.
નહીં, just focus on this much. Too good to be true. તો એને શું કર્યું આપણે? We removed the word too,
ગુડ
we
અને એટલે
removed
ફેક
the word good, and what did we do? We converted good true to its negative. So we negated the word true, so it is not good. So here you can do the same thing. Too good to miss out on. So
ટુ એટલે હાલો આપણે નેગેટિવ કરી
it
નાખ્યું
is
બરાબર.
not true. So it is not so
Dead.
you shouldn't miss it. You shouldn't miss it. એવું.
હા યુ શુડન્ટ
Something
મિસ
which you
ઇટ.
should not miss.
કેવા કેવા સ્ટ્રક્ચર આવે ને કઈ.
Too good to miss out on. So it is something which you would not like to miss out on. So could the benefits of online social media, social networking be too good to miss out on?
અને ઈ પાછો ક્વેશ્ચન છે વાત ઈ છે
Ah,
networking be too good to miss out on. કેવા ભેગું કરવું મને ઈ ચાલુ આ ટુ નાખી દીધું ને બે વાર ઇનફ આપ્યો તો હાલ આપણે પોઝિટિવ સમજાય.
yeah.
ટુ ગુડ ટુ સોરી આ ટુ મિસ આઉટ ઓન તો હાલ ઈ આખું સેકન્ડ સેન્ટેન્સ થઈ ગયું.
Okay, miss out on. એટલે we are talking about online social networking. So if you don't have an account on Facebook, you are missing out on online social networking. Let us assume
Yes.
that you're missing out on online social networking.
Hmm.
And if you have an account on Facebook, then you're not missing out on social networking. So could the benefits of online social networking? So we are talking about the benefits of online social networking platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
So could the benefits of these online social networking be too good to miss out on? Should we miss out on these benefits? Is it okay if we miss out on these benefits?
No.
I am not, you're not supposed to answer the question. You have not even started reading the passage. This is just a question. I'm trying to explain you the question. Why are you
Okay.
asking it? આજે તો ખાલી introduction છે કે we don't know whether the author is going to argue in favor or against this statement, but we need to convert this question into a sentence that into an idea that we can understand, which we can digest.
Okay, networking be too good to miss out on.
So
આ
we
એક
could
તો
say
જો
that is it okay to miss out on the benefits of social networking, or
ઓકે
is
એવું
it not okay?
ઓકે
એવું
એટલે
થયું?
એવો છે.
Could the benefits of online social networking media, ઈ તો બરોબર છે, that much you can understand, be
Yes.
too good to miss out on? એટલે are you willing to sacrifice those benefits? એવું થયું any sense? Because we are somehow હવે નેગેટિવ છે પણ એને you cannot just cut this sentence in this question into two parts and just focus on the last part. You need to connect it to the first part to make sense out of it.
Yes. Okay. Could the benefit of online social networking be miss out on? પેલા જો બી ટુ ગુડ ટુ કાઢ નાખે ને તો આવું બને, બરાબર? ટુ ગુડ ટુ.
એટલે હવે if you convert it into a negative form, so it loosely translates to what?
Could the benefit of online social networking be too good to student miss out on? Not miss out on. Not
એના જેવું થાય. So could the benefits, so what, so the problem here is what if we miss out on the benefits?
yes.
શું અને એક્ઝેક્ટલી એમ કેમ મારે કેવું ને તને?
મને છે ને એ તકલીફ કરતો હતા યાર, ટુ ગુડ ટુ મિસ આઉટ ઓન છે ને એટલે ખાલી મિસ આઉટ હોત ને તો વાંધો ન હોત.
હવે
ટુ
એક
ગુડ ટુ.
મિનિટ એક મિનિટ શાંતિ રાખ.
આને છે ને ક્યાંક
એક મિનિટ પણ તું એક મિનિટ કઈ બોલમાં માંડ કઈક વિચાર આવ્યો હોય ને. Okay, worth missing out, worth missing out. Let's take it this way. Could the benefits, so could the advantages of social of online social networking be too good to miss out on? Is it worthwhile to miss the benefits of these online social networking? You should not miss out on them. એના જેવું કે આ બેનિફિટ્સ છે એને તમારે મિસ નથી કરવાના. Too good to miss out on. So now, and this is a question. Okay, you should not too good to miss out on. It is not good to miss out on. But that is a part of question. Could the benefits of online social networking be too good to miss out on? Are these benefits worthwhile? Is it okay to miss out on these benefits or not? ક્વેશ્ચન બને ને ક્વેશ્ચન ન્યુટ્રલ થઈ જાય પાછો.
ક્વેશ્ચનમાં આન્સર નો
એક પોર્શન જો તો ઇટ ઇઝ નેગેટિવ. ઓકે, too good to miss out on એટલે it is not good to miss, it is not good to miss it. So if you miss it, so you are losing something. ખાલી એટલા પાર્ટનો મીનિંગ થયો. But if you take the question as a whole, could the benefits of these things be too good to miss out on? So you're asking something કે તમે suppose if you miss these benefits, તો શું? So is it okay or not? Is it good or bad? એવું.
એ આગળ author કહે છે, okay, I got it now. Right? Want to be friends એટલે ઈ મતલબ એવું થયું છે કઈક એના સાથે ઓકે જશે. સોરી, ઓકે નહીં હોય.
પણ શું કામ? પણ why are you jumping to conclusions? Want to be friends એટલે it's a question. We don't know whether he wants to or he does not want to.
લોજિકલી એમ લાગે wants to be, કોઈ તમને તમારી સાથે ફ્રેન્ડ બનવા માંગે તો તમે ના. Why you
don't start assuming things. That's the problem. When you are reading for the test, you should not assume anything.
Okay.
Don't bring your mind in between.
Okay. Okay. તો કઈ રીતે ચાલુ કરીએ, બરાબર? For many hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, online networking has become enmeshed in our daily lives. Enmeshed.
Mesh.
Enmeshed એટલે જાળી જેવું એમ. તો
Mesh, like a mesh topology. So enmeshed in our daily life. So it has become a critical part of our daily life,
okay.
an essential
Enmeshed.
portion of our daily lives.
Hmm. Okay. In our daily lives, become worldwide one. Many hundreds of thousands. Many hundreds of thousands. ઘણા બધા સો હજારોમાંથી સો
Hundreds of
એવું
thousands of people worldwide. Don't try to um,
એઝ્યુમ
count hundreds of thousands.
હા એ કાઉન્ટ ન કરીએ કઈ એમ
જો hundreds of people એટલે ઘણા બધા સો ની સંખ્યામાં 100 200 300 up to 1000, that is hundreds of people. Now thousands of people એટલે શું થયું? 1000,
હજારોની
2000, 3000, it could be up to 99,000.
99,000
So there are
ને
thousands of people. હવે hundreds of thousands of people એટલે what? Multiplication of 100 and 1000. So you're talking about lakhs of people. But
વર્લ્ડ વાઇડ
it is not just lakhs and millions of people. Anything, a very, very large quantity. એટલે જ you cannot directly translate it into some sort of number. You cannot count how many people.
એટલે એ થાતો જ નહીં જો કારણ હું ટ્રાય કરું જ ને કોઈ હંડ્રેડ્સ માં હું કયો આંકડો લઉં થાઉઝન્ડ માં હું કયો આંકડો લઉં હજાર લઉં
અને even if you take the maximum એટલે 100,000 લઈ લે 100 into say 99,000, તો એ કેટલું થયું?
લાખ ની અંદર
લાખની અંદર ક્યાંથી થાય? 99,000 into 100.
ઓકે તોય વધારે થઈ જાય લાખ ની ઉપર વયું
એટલે
જાય
it could be close to 1 crore.
1 million
1 million 1 million એટલે તો 10 lakh જ થાય. 10 million. It could
હા
be
10
something around 10 million. But there are billions of people in the world. See, this is not restricted to 10 million or something less than 10 million. Hundreds of
મતલબ
thousands of people, a lot,
ઘણા
so many people, many people.
so many people of worldwide online networking has become enmeshed in our daily lives. However, it is a decades-old insight from a study of traditional social networks that best illuminates one of the most important aspects of today's online networking. However, એટલે જ્યારે it is a decades-old insight from a study of traditional social networks. Insight એટલે deeply knowledge એવું હોય ને
Decade
insight.
old એટલે decades old.
દસકાઓ જૂનું ઘણા દસકાઓ જૂનું
ઓલામાં કેમ હતું? Hundreds of thousands of years. Here you could say tens of years of old. Tens of years. ઓલામાં
હા
hundreds of people.
દસકાઓ જૂનું insight from a study of
So
insight
a
એટલે
couple
deeply
of
knowledge.
decades. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. We don't know,
Couple of
but a couple of decades.
hmm.
Insight from a study. So you could say the knowledge gained from a study of traditional social networks that best illuminates.
Illuminate
Illumine. That is to what? To shed light on something.
light on some shed light on something.
Wait. Luminous. Go to
Luminous
Google.
સાંભળ્યું છે luminous.
Luminous.
Luminous આમ જ લખાય. Lu
That is fine. નથી. Luminous. Nes નથી. Nus છે.
nus.
Luminous. It's not luminous. આ lumines થયું.
લ્યુમેન્સ તો લ્યુમેન્સ એટલે શું થાય જોયું છે? આ તો કઈ ગેમ ની વાત છે.
પણ હું લુમિનસ કહું છું, પણ યુ ડોન્ટ હેવ ટુ
લ્યુમિનસ
નેશ
ઓકે.
લ્યુમિનેશ થયું.
હવે તો મને નીચેથી હિન્ટ મળી ગઈ હતી.
હિન્ટ નહીં, એને આન્સર જ કહેવાય.
આ આખો આન્સર હતો.
ડિફાઇન લ્યુમિનસ.
આન્સર જ હતો. ગિવિંગ ઓફ લાઇટ, બ્રાઇટ ઓર શાઇનિંગ. હા,
That
આની
is
ઉપરથી ખબર પડી. લાઇટ.
luminous, bright or shining, something related to light. Now
હમ
another one, lumen. Hmm.
The SI unit of luminous flux equal to amount of light emitted per second in unit. આ તો ફ્રીક્વન્સી જેવું કંઈક થઈ ગયું, યુનિટ.
Whatever, this is a unit. But unit of what?
લ્યુમિનસ
Luminous flux equal to, and what is it equal to? It is equal to amount of light emitted per whatever.
પર
No,
સેકન્ડ.
per second. So basically, we are talking about light, lumen, light, luminous, something related to light, bright and shining.
યસ.
So illumine,
ઇલ્યુમાઇન. લાઇટ અપ, બ્રાઇટન. તો એ તો સિમિલર વર્ડ છે.
huh? Luminescence.
લ્યુમિનેશન.
Hmm.
લ્યુમિનેશન નાઉન.
Lumination નથી, luminescence.
નેશન્સ.
Nations નથી, nations.
ને નેશન.
Nesin થયું આ.
ઓ એન કરવાનો હતો. લ્યુમિનેશન.
Nation. Listen to me, luminescence.
નેશન.
Luminescence. હા.
લ્યુમિનેશન તોય બાકી રહી ગયું. લ્યુમિનેશન. ઓકે, યસ. Luminescence is a spontaneous emission of light by substance of resulting from heat. ઓ આ લાઇટ લ્યુમિનેશન આવે એની વાત થાય છે.
My point is, any word that has this group of letters LUMIN, that is somehow related to light. Luminescence હોય, luminosity હોય, lumen હોય. So illuminated. So illuminated is what? Illuminated is also somehow related to light.
યસ.
So illuminated. So illuminated એટલે you are shedding light on something. પ્રકાશ પાડવું આપણે કહીએ ને એવું.
લાઇટિંગ ઓન સમથિંગ, બ્રાઇટિંગ.
Lighting એવું ન કહેવાય. Shedding light on something.
ઓકે.
Shed light on is a phrase.
તો અહીંયા શું છે? Illuminate one of the most important aspects of today's online networking.
So if something is lying in the dark and if you shine light on that object, what will happen?
The dark will be vanished and object will be clearly see.
Yes, object will become visible.
Objects will become visible. Yeah.
Object will become visible if you throw light on something which was hidden in the dark. which was hidden in darkness, what will happen? It'll become visible. So
Yes.
same is the case with knowledge. So something, say this, it's a decades old insight from a study. So we are talking about a study of what?
Yes.
Of traditional social network that
Yes.
best illuminates one of the most important aspects of today's online networking. So this study is going to bring to light something which was not known before.
Yes.
જેમ જેમ તમે પ્રકાશ પાડો ને કેમ ઓબ્જેક્ટ દેખાય એવી
I
રીતે
am
this study
અજ્ઞાનતાને દૂર કરી એમ.
is shedding light on some aspect of what some aspect of this
Today
traditional
only.
social network, and due to that we are able to learn a new fact.
Yes. Today only. Okay. In 1973, sociologist Mark Granovetter showed how the loose acquaintance of or weak ties in our social network exert
Acquaintances,
acquaintances or weak ties in our social network exert a disproportionate influence or
disproportionate.
disproportionate influence over our behavior and choices.
Acquaintances or weak ties, they mean the same. Why? Because we have this word or in between, conjunction or.
વીક એટલે પણ વીક એટલે નબળું થાય પણ ટાઈસ એટલે પણ વીક ટાઈસ
Ties, weak ties, strong ties. So if you know somebody, you say that you have strong ties. Okay. Although I'm in Canada, I have strong ties with India. Why? Why? Because I know so many people there. I come from that place.
તારા માટે જાણીતી છે.
જાણીતી નથી. I have strong ties with it. Ties એટલે શું? Relation, a relationship. So
રિલેશન.
I have a strong relationship with that country. So if you're talking in reference to people instead of country, what will it be? Strong ties. If you have strong ties with somebody else, you have a very strong relationship with that person. You say that weak ties, so it is a weak relationship. And when would a relationship be weak?
સંબંધો જયારે ઓછા હોય ત્યારે
સંબંધો ક્યારે ઓછા હોય?
જ્યારે ટચમાં ન હોય અથવા
Yes, yes.
જાણતા ન
Either the
હોય.
person is not in touch with you, or you do not know that person very well, or there is a third possibility. You don't like that person. In all three cases, you could have weak ties. The acquaintances now, acquaintances શું થાય?
તો એ એક નબળા સંબંધોને કંઈક દર્શાવતું છે maybe.
Acquaintances are people whom you do not know very well. Now we said that there are three possibilities. Either you could not know that person very well, or you could not like that person, or
You don't like this person.
yes, which was the third possibility? I forgot.
Yes, yes. You don't like this person.
Yeah, you don't like that person, or you don't know that person very well, or you're not in regular touch with that person. So then it could be a weak tie. It could indicate weak tie.
Your
But
acquaintance.
acquaintances specifically talks about one of those factors, and that is not knowing somebody very well. So if you don't know somebody very well, you say that it's just an acquaintance.
Okay. In our social network, exerted this
Disproportionate. So what is
disproportionate
proportionate?
proportion ખબર છે proportionate
Proportion એટલે
proportion એટલે આગળ વધતું એમ.
hmm? Propulsion. That is propulsion. This is proportion. Propel. Propel. આપણે હલેસા મારીને બોટ આગળ લઈ જાય. Propel the boat with. So that is propulsion. You propel a rocket, but this is proportion.
Proportion એટલે પ્રમાણ, rate.
Yes, yes.
પણ this proportion
Quantity. So you're talking about say a quantity.
ચાર્ટ માં આવતું પ્રમાણે
Proportion of something.
20% of something. એક kind of ભાગ છે proportion.
So you're talking about a quantity. So disproportionate.
જે proportion પ્રમાણમાં ન હોય એવું.
હા, તો proportion પ્રમાણમાં ક્યારે ન હોય? Again, there could be two possibilities.
પ્રમાણમાં ક્યારે ન હોય? જ્યારે કોઈ આંકડા એની પાસે નહીં perfect if they don't have a exact number or exact quantity.
Okay. Let's talk about food.
Okay.
There are three ways in which you can eat something.
કાચે કાચું?
ના, કાચે કાચું ઈ way નહીં. If you're very hungry, what do you do?
I eat
How
the
much
food.
do you eat? How much do you eat if you're very hungry?
I cannot say that.
નહીં, અરે કેમ મેં તને એમ નથી કીધું કે tell me the number of chapatis you eat. How much do you eat? Like,
hello.
હા.
એક મિનિટ, અવાજ કેમ ધીમો થઈ ગયો? હા બોલો.
How much do you eat if you're very hungry?
Lot of.
Yes, you eat more. You eat more. If you're not hungry, if you're not so hungry, you eat less.
એટલે હા, એક way.
But there is also a possibility that you eat in proportion to your hunger. You neither eat more nor eat less. You just eat in proportion to your hunger. If you just eat to satisfy your hunger, that's it. You're neither overeating nor are you under eating. The situation where you are neither overeating nor under eating, you could say that it's a proportionate situation. You're eating in proportion to your hunger. એટલે આપણે માપે કહીએ ને, that is proportionate.
હા, એટલે જે નક્કી ન હોય એમ, એટલે એ એક્ઝામ્પલ થયું ને, જેનો કાંઈ તમારી પાસે એક્ઝેક્ટ નંબર ન હોય એવું કઈ ન હોય એ. લાઈક ધીસ.
તો ડિસ્પ્રોપોર્શનેટ એટલે
હા, તો એ જ છે ને, જેનો એક્ઝેક્ટ નંબર ન.
But there are two possibilities again. Either it could be very much or it could be very less. So here what I'm talking about.
It could be ઉપર ઈ સેન્ટેન્સ ઉપરથી ખબર પડશે. Which has been affected influence over our behavior and choices. It could be a very less.
Very less influence over our behavior and choices. No.
નહીં, influence માટે તો very high થઈ જાય.
Yes, very high. અને disproportionate નો meaning જ very high છે. You have to discount the possibility of less influence. That was just to make you understand that there are two possibilities. Either you could eat very much, or you could eat very less. But very less વાળું છે ને, that is not disproportionate. Disproportionate is always used in context of something which is very high, which is very much. એને disproportionate કહેવાય.
Okay. Okay.
That is the that is the usual sense. કારણ કે generally જો disproportionate માં છે ને, and this could be a little confusing at times. કારણ કે disproportionate એટલે શું? It is just not in proportion એમ.
એટલે proportion માં વધારે પડતું હોય.
હવે ઈ વધારે પડતું હોય ને ઓછું હોય.
હા એમ, પણ
generally most of the times, out of everything that I have read, mostly this word disproportionate is used in context where we are talking about something which is very much, which is very high. But it is better to write disproportionately large so that it becomes clear. Take for example this sentence. Now we don't know what is going to happen. Social network exert a disproportionate influence over our behavior and choices. એવું એણે કીધું. So now you said that it is we are talking about less influence. So that is also a possibility. And more influence, that is also a possibility. So suppose if I write disproportionately large influence over behavior and choices, then it is very clear that we are talking about a lot of influence.
Yes.
પણ અહીંયા તે જે કીધું ને એ ખોટું તો નથી. It could be less influence. But this is just ambiguous. Disproportionate. Suppose they had said disproportionately large, so it would have been 100% a lot of influence. But અહીંયા less influence ની possibility છે.
Okay. Disproportionate. Okay, got it. પણ exert a
in our social network exert a disproportionate, so it has a disproportionate influence over our behavior and choices.
Okay, and choices. So in 1920s, sociology Mark Gurman showed how the loose acquaintances or which type
Acquaintances
acquaintances or weak ties in our social network has a disproportionate influence over our behavior and choices. See, Greenwater's research showed that a significant percentage of people get their jobs as a result of recommendations or advice provided by a weak tie.
significant percentage of people.
નોંધપાત્ર હોય વધારે. Percentage of people get their jobs as a result or recommendations or advice provided by weak ties. એના ઉપરથી
weak connections એટલે mostly
ઓછી ઓળખાણવાળા
ઓછી ઓળખાણવાળા માણસો.
Today, our number of weak ties contacts has exploded via online social networking.
Why? Because you could have thousands of friends on Facebook, but it's not humanly possible to have thousands of friends in person.
Weak tie contacts has exploded, ફાટી નીકળ્યા via online social networking. વધારે પડતા એમ જ થયું ને, ફાટી નીકળ્યા. You couldn't maintain all of these weak ties on your own, says Jennifer. Couldn't. You couldn't maintain. Yeah? You couldn't maintain all of those weak ties on your own. તમે તમારી જાતે એને મેન્ટેન ન કરી શકો એવું કોણ કહ્યું છે? જેનિફર ગોલબેક of the University of Maryland.
Maryland.
Maryland. Maryland નથી, Maryland. Online sites such as Facebook gives you a way of cataloging them.
Cataloging them. Catalog એટલે a catalog of things.
એનું ફોટા હોય એવું થાય કેટલોગ.
ફોટા હોય.
કેટલોગ એટલે જો
કેટલોગ છે, જો તું કેટલોગ બોલ ને એટલે સ્પેલિંગ કઈ ખોટો જ લખાય.
હા, એ કેટલોગ છે. Complete list of items, typically one of alphabetical or other systematic order. સૂચિ થાય આ કેટલોગ એટલે.
ફોટા
એટલે મેં કીધું આ બધાના ફોટા હોય ને આ બધા એટલે મેં કેટલોગ કહેવાતા હશે.
પણ ઈ ફોટા શું કામ હોય? That you're talking in reference to an online store. Say for example Amazon. So if you're shopping for something on Amazon, you'll see a list of items along with their photographs. So essentially it is a list of items and photos are also a part of that list. મતલબ એવું નથી કે catalog is photo.
Okay. It's a સૂચિ.
Yeah, it's a list. It could be a list of
List of
anything. Items could include photos. I'm not saying that they will not.
item, okay, anything. For other systematic order list થઈ ગયું મતલબ. Okay.
But photos, that is too specific. Catalog is a general term.
અહીંયા catalog છે. Complete list of. આનો meaning એવો થાય છે તો ઈ આવે તો શું છે? એવું કઈ છે જ નહીં. અહીંયા શું છે? Cataloging them.
So listing them. Catalog એટલે list, so cataloging એટલે listing them.
Okay, હા, yeah, બરાબર છે. Online sites such as Facebook give you a way of cataloging them, listing them.
Thousands of friends, you cannot even keep track of them. You cannot even remember everyone.
એ લિસ્ટ સાચી રાખે એમ લિસ્ટિંગ કરીને આપે.
Without Facebook it's not possible.
The result, it is now significantly easier for the school friend you have not seen in years to pass your tip that alter your behavior from recommendations of a low cholesterol breakfast carrier to a party invite where you meet your future wife or husband.
You haven't.
Yeah, you haven't seen.
You have not નથી. Have, so they have to be separate words, but you're using apostrophe, so you say you haven't, you couldn't, you could not ની.
બરાબર છે, એ ખોટું પણ આમ ખરેખર ગ્રામેટિકલ ઇટ ઇઝ રાઈટ બટ આમ ખોટું કહેવાય ને બોલતા હોય
જે લખ્યું છે એ વાંચ્યું ન કહેવાય ને.
હા, લખ્યું છે એ નો વાંચ્યું છે 110%.
તો it is માં એવું થાય, જો તો it apostrophe s, તો you should have read it as it is now. તો ઈ કેમ તે it's વાંચ્યું? તો haven't નું haven't જ થવું જોઈએ, have not નો થાય.
ઓલામાં મેં could not વાંચ્યું હતું ત્યારે તો મોડેલ ઓક્ઝિલરીઝમાં ખબર નહીં પણ મારે બરાબર છે. ઓકે, ખોટું છે લખ્યું એ નો વાંચ્યું કહેવાય. You are 110% right.
So it's now significantly easy. Now it's very easy for the school friend you haven't seen in years to pass you a tip that alters your behavior. Which tip are we talking about? A tip that you give to the waiter?
Waiting.
A tip that you give to the waiter? Is it that tip?
ટીપ એટલે આ ઓલી જે ટિપ્સ આવે એ ટિપ્સ હશે કદાચ મે બી.
કઈ ટિપ્સ આવે?
આપણે ખબર ઘણા એમાં ટિપ્સ હોય.
એટલે શું પણ એટલે શું?
ટિપ્સ તું મને ટિપ્સ આપ એટલે
એડવાઇસ.
એડવાઇસ, હા ટિપ્સ આપી કે આમ કરો તો આમ.
હા. So a friend whom you haven't seen in years, so you haven't met that person since just many years. Even that person can give you some advice that can change your behavior, alters your behavior, change your behavior.
યસ.
So now from recommendation, so now we are coming across the example of that advice. So it could be, so that tip could vary from what? It could vary from the recommendation of a low cholesterol breakfast cereal. So your friend could say that you should cut down on your intake of cholesterol. So just start having low cholesterol breakfast cereals, to a party invite where you could meet your future wife or husband. So these two are just the the example, the range of advices that you can get from a person that you haven't met since last many years.
ઓકે.
So આ શું થયું, low cholesterol breakfast cereal, so that is not something very significant, because as such, if you change your meal, then it is a significant change, but changing a breakfast is not going to make so much of a difference in your life. So it is okay, I mean, it's not very significant. But
ફ્રેશ યુઝ
party,
કર્યો લો કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ બ્રેકફાસ્ટ. પેલા હું એ જ વિચારતો હતો, આ સારું લો આમાં વાત ફ્રેન્ડ ની કરતા લો કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ ની વાત ક્યાંથી આવી?
but advice ની વાત છે કે હવે, now we are talking about the range of advices that a friend can give. So the range of advices, so now look at it at this, like this, recommendation of a low cost cholesterol breakfast, like it is something which is not very significant. Breakfast does not have a very significant impact on your health. Yes, your meals will have, but breakfast is something which is casual, I mean, it's not something very important, at least in my opinion. This could be something which is not very significant. And a party where you are going to meet your future wife and wife or husband. So what's the other term that you use for your spouse? So you could say
પાર્ટનર.
husband or wife, you could say spouse, and there is one more term.
હા, સ્પાઉસ વિઝા આવે એટલે હા બરાબર, વાઇફ, વાઇફ ઓર હસબન્ડ.
But there is one more term.
હજી એક?
Significant other. Your significant other, so it could be anyone, it could be either wife or husband. Your significant other is a person who holds a very special place in your life, who is very significant, who ha- whose importance, who has a paramount importance in your life. So શું થયું, this advice is something very essential, it's crucial, it's going to change your entire life, because you're
યસ.
talking about your future life, future wife or husband. So that's going to have a significant impact on your life. And changing your breakfast, that is okay, I mean, that's not going to create such a huge impact. So the advices could range from something insignificant to something very significant.
ઓકે. આખું તો સમજાઈ ગયો કે આમાં કેટલા બધા 3-4 સાયન્ટિસ્ટ ના નામ હતા, પ્રોફેસર ના, સોરી નોટ સાયન્ટિસ્ટ. Now we will move on questions. We will move to a questions. Okay, list of heading આપવાનું છે બરાબર, B G A to G.
હવે જો ફર્સ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફ હોય તો ફર્સ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફમાં શું હોય, it's definitely going to be an introduction.
પણ નહીં, અહીંયા ક્વેશ્ચનમાં છે ને ચોખ્ખું કીધું છે choose the correct heading for
Okay,
paragraph G.
B2G, yes. B2G, yes.
સારું થયું વાંચ્યું.
Mm. So you,
આ
you cannot do anything after reading the first paragraph. You will have to read the second one.
અરે યાર આ ક્યાં આમ થઈ છે આ જ હતો ને પણ
No,
એ
no,
એવું થોડું
continue
કીધું કે
હોય ને.
આમાંથી ના હોય અહીંયા એ ટુ જો
ઠીક
એ
હા
ટુ
એટલે પાછળ હજી
હા મેચ ધ each finding with the correct researcher એ ટુ એ ઓ જો આ બધા આવી જાય ને બધા તો નહીં આવે નિકોલ
ઠીક આ ઓલા
એલિફન્ટ
ક્વેશ્ચન્સ છે હા હા
હા people who network widely ના may be more able to exert pressure on other able to have pressure on other
નહીં don't write the correct letter A to F in boxes 33 to 36 on your answer sheet. Just read the name of the researchers that we have come across. Judith, no. Robin, no. Jeff, no. Nicole, no. Michael, no. We have only
no.
come across one person, Mark Grenovetter. Now go
આ એક
back to the passage and read about this person, Mark.
હા સારું જો આમ જરાક કરીએ ને તોય ઉપર આવી જાય ઓકે પહેલા તો માર્ક ક્યાં છે અહીંયા જેનિફર ગો બેક નથી ઉપરથી ગોતીએ ને માર્ક ગેનોવેટર અહીંયા shows that how the loose acquaintances acquaintances or weak ties in our social network exerted disproportionate influence over our behavior and choices આ એટલું કઈ છે
અને જો ઉભર આ પેરેગ્રાફ માંથી પાછું disproportionate તો in this context we are talking about a high degree of influence, not low influence. કારણ કે એમાં નીચે કીધું હતું કે even a person who has not met you since last many years can change your life. So it has a disproportionate, that person has a disproportionately large influence on your life. એટલે મોટે ભાગે તું જો ને disproportionate હોય ને it is usually used in the context where you are talking about something which is very high.
yes
Technically
okay
speaking, it could refer to both more and less, but usually we use only when we are talking about something very much, very high in quantity or something which is very large.
okay okay અહીંયા તો એવું એને કીધું છે હવે એમાં જોઈ ગયા people who network widely may be more able to exert pressure on other ના pressure તો leave it. We have become more willing to confide in a extensive number of people nah willing to confide there is a limit to how many meaningful relationships we can maintain there is a social advantage in knowing about the lives of our online contact advantage તો એને કઈ કીધા નતા બરાબર છે
But the problem is you have 6 options and only 4 questions, so it might happen that A could, I mean, Mark, you might not have any sentence that corresponds to Mark Grenovetter. That's fine.
એમની આન્સર મે બી હોય પણ જોકે પણ આમાં 4 છે એટલે કઈ પોસિબિલિટી નથી અને આમાં એને કીધું એવું કઈ મળતું નથી
હા એમ so There are only 4 questions and 6 options, so it's possible that Mark Granovetter may not be an answer to any of the questions.
પછી આપણે આમાં 4માં જઈએ, બરાબર છે? આમાં A to E છે ને. Which two disadvantages of online social networking are mentioned in reading passage 3? હવે નીકળી ગયું passage 3, આ નીકળી ગયું. એટલે એક આન્સર નહીં, સિંગલ.
હા, તો થાય એવું કોક વાર, પણ આપણને કોક
ઓલામાં
વાર
તો
મળી જતો હોય 5 તો કોક વાર એકય ન મળે.
ઓલામાં તો ઉપરના બધા મળી ગયા હતા. 3 પેરેગ્રાફમાં ખાલી 3 જ બાકી રહ્યા.
ઈ આ ઓલા કરના ફકીરી જેવું છે, મળી જાય તો મળી જાય, ન મળે તો ન મળે.
બરાબર છે. હિન્દી એક કામ કરી, થોડીક વાર પછી કરી, કારણ કે મારું સાલું પેટમાં દુખવા મળી જાય બહુ.
હા હા.
હવે